So if you don't know this guy, this is DEZ WRIGHT. And he's known for his songs and samples on Wants and Needs, Diva, Topia Twins, Numbers, Trademark USA, Bubbly, Love All, Back Outside Boys, Man in the Mirror, Aim for the Moon, God's Country, and many, many more songs. And today I will show you how to make samples inspired by DEZ WRIGHT, like these synth sounding samples. And I would really appreciate if y'all just leave a like and a comment on what's your favorite DEZ WRIGHT song or like DEZ WRIGHT produced song. And obviously the sample will not sound 100% like DEZ WRIGHT samples because I don't have any real synths, but I'm gonna show y'all a crazy contact bank that replicates like real sounding synths and vintage sounding synths. So I'd really appreciate if y'all just watch till the end, leave a like, check out Lucaland for amazing kits, and you will get a 15% discount by just checking it out. And I don't want to make the intro too long, so let's get right into the breakdown. And I want to get directly into the breakdown because I really think it has like a vintage synth vibe to it and I really like it. So let's get right into the sample breakdown, and the sample and the finished beat are sounding like this. And if you want to make like real sounding synth samples, you have to use Monomy. Monomy is probably one of the best and most affordable contact bank that you can probably get right now because it has so many presets, and this one is my favorite. It's called Journey to Euphoria. You can copy them settings if they're not the like default settings, and this is the pattern I laid down, and it just sounds so full. I was in the F sharp minor harmonic scale, and as you can see, all I really did was just making this simple chord, which basically is like the F sharp minor chord but without the A, and I pitched the C sharp down by 1 octave and then took the F sharp and took it down 1 octave as well. And then I have this chord right here, which also just contains 2 notes, and it contains an A and an G sharp, and obviously as you can see they lay like next to each other, and that just creates like a really nice tone and a really dark tone, and that's what I wanted to go for. And then after that I have this A5 and this B4, which is basically the same thing but just with like a note between it, and then I have this D5, which is basically just there to make it like a little bit more empty. Then as you can see I have the same thing right here, but I have this D with an B, so it has like a little bit of variation. And for the second part, as you can see right here, I had this D again added in G sharp and in C sharp just to give it like some variation and to make it sound not as boring as it would have been like with just this chord or just a simple D. And for the effects on there, it's so simple. I just have the simple EQ where I cut out some of the lows, duck some of the frequencies that I didn't really like, and that's all I have on there. And I'm gonna show y'all this finished first main melody, and the main melody is sounding like this. And now I'm already come to like the counter melodies or like the phrases and vocals, and as you can see I have my own flute right here, but that's something I will show you after showing you all these two. And with the vocal hook I basically just have the mode to stretch, normalized it, put the declicker mode to generic, put the velocity to 49%, which is basically half, and it's just a simple vocal phrase from Splice because I can really sing, or at least I can make no phrases. And for my vocal chain I have this Fruity delay too with these settings right here, then this simple Fruity reverb where I played with the bass multiplier, with the decay, with the wet knob and the stereo separation. Then obviously I have to use in Soothe, and I used it right here with the soft setting, the depth to 3.0, and I turn off this knob right here as you can see. And I have this free parametric EQ just to cut out a lot of the lows, duck some of the frequencies that I didn't really like, and I have a 12% in stereo, and the finished vocal phrase is sounding like this. And then for the next counter melody, as you can see, this is a really weird pattern, and I used the morning preset from Analog Lab. Yeah, as I said, it's a really weird pattern. It looks weird, it sounds weird without the effects. I'm gonna play it without the effects first, so I'm gonna turn them off right here, and then I just repeated it the whole time, and it really sounds good, and it really adds like a lot of texture and character to the second part of the sample, which you will hear in a second. But first of all, without the effects, the first 2 bars are sounding like this. And now I added these effects right here, which is this portal with the dystopian preset out of the Adieu Aliens bank. Then this simple Soothe on its default settings. I just turned this knob from soft to hard and the depth to 6.2. And then this simple EQ where I just cut out a lot of the lows and a lot of the highs just to duck it like a little bit more into the background and make it not as present as it would have been without the EQ. And then I rendered it out, put the declicker mode to generic, pitch it down by 12, put the mode to stretch, and put it on the second mixer track, but basically without the portal. And the second finished lead melody is sounding like this. And then I added this thing right here, which is, I think it's an Irish flute. I don't really know how to play it. I just play it by ear. And as you can see, I basically just laid down a lot of simple patterns and then just chopped them up and put them together. I pitched it up by 4. I don't know why, but I put the mode to stretch, put the declicker mode to generic on the 4th mixer track. And on the 4th mixer track, there's this auto tune because it's kind of detuned. And as you can see, I have the input type to instrument, the key to F sharp minor. And these are my settings. It's really simple. I just have the retune speed on 20. Everything else is on 0. Then this simple RC20 with the vinyl 1 preset, and it's basically just for the wobble and the EQ and the tone. Then this simple fresh air with the mid air to 5% and the high air to 9%. Then this Valhalla vintage verb where I tweak the mix, the decay and the low cut. This NS1 stereo, which is basically just there to remove like the unnecessary noise of the recording. This simple soothe on its hard setting, the depth to 5.4, and I have this knob turned on right here. Then this EQ where, as you can see, I EQ'd out a lot of the lows and even low mids, ducked some of the mid frequencies, some of the highs, and yeah, I basically cut them out, the highs, and I had it 27% in stereo, and the finished flute is sounding like this. And then as you can see right here, I chopped up like the original main melody, the synth pattern, because it matches so insanely good with the flute. And I'm gonna play these two together, but just like till here. So basically the first 4 bars, and these are sounding like this. And obviously the bass line, as you can see right here, and the Luca Flower perk loop out of the Vital multi-kit, which you can see right here, where the link is in the description, by the way. So yeah, make sure to get that with the 15% off, and it will sound just way better with the bass and the perk loop. And I'm gonna show you all the perk loop first. I have the declicker mode to generic, mode to stretch, and this effect chain on there, which I will just go through very quick. It's just my go-to effect chain for perk loops, and the finished perk loop, I'm gonna just show you all these first 4 bars, is sounding like this. So yeah, it sounds like kind of weird, but it just matches perfectly with the sample, which y'all will hear in a sec. But first I will show you all this bass line, and the bass line contains this Warwick stage bass Italy. And as you can see, I just took the root notes from the original synth melody, basically copy pasted them, and the bass line is sounding like this. And for the effects, I just have the simple soothe on its hard setting and the depth to 6.6, and this simple decapitator where I had the drive to about 2.5, the tone a little bit more to dark, and the style to E. And I have this EQ where I cut out like the muddy lows and ducked a lot of frequencies, cut out the high mids and highs, and I have it 100% in mono. And now I'm gonna just show you all this mastering chain right here, just like the effects. If you want to see the mastering chain, click on the last video. I showed it in my last video, or basically the second last video, I think. There I show you all my mastering chain. It's really easy, and if you see my videos, you know this mastering chain. So I'm gonna play out the sample right now, and the finished sample is sounding like this. And now for the beat breakdown, as you can see right here, I have a lot of drum patterns, but most of them are like very simple. And for the beat, the first thing I did was dragging in the sample. I have the mode to stretch, declicker mode to generic, the trim knob to 100%. And as you can see right here, I just have the simple low cut on there. And the first thing I did for the drums was laying down this pretty simple hi-hat pattern, because as you can see, it's basically a 2-step hi-hat pattern with like 3 rolls, 1 empty space right here. And then for the second part, I basically copied it over, have 2 rolls right here, and the same empty space again, because it really fits with the flute part. And as you can see, I played with the velocities right here, just that they go down like very fast. And that's all I did for the hi-hat pattern, and that's basically all I can explain. And the finished hi-hat pattern is sounding like this. And I used the Luca hit hi-hat out of the Starship multi-kit, and you can find it right here for me, it's the perfect hi-hat, and it is named Luca Hit, and the waveform looks like this. It's like a really fire hi-hat. I just love using it because it's not like so short. It's like a longer hi-hat, but that's what I really love about it. And then after that, I have the simple babe clap out of the same kit again. All of these drum sounds I'm using are out of the Starshot multi-kit. So if you want to get it, make sure to check out the link in the description. You'll get a 15% discount code. As I said, it's like 100% worth it because it not only has drum sounds, it has like a whole drum kit obviously, but it has 100 phrases, a lot of samples, live phrases, midis like hi-hat midis and melody midis, perk loops and textures, so it's perfect for making beats and samples. But for the babe clap pattern, it's very simple. It's just a basic clap pattern which sounds like this. Then I have this simple holding snare, this simple no question snare, this simple rim perk, and this snare, and all of these together make like a really good rhythm because as you can see, like the rim hits and then the holding snare hits, and the same thing is right here with the snare and the no question snare, and all four of these are sounding like this. Then I have the simple Rex Edit open head, which looks like this, and I basically just layered the 808 with it, and this LFO open head, which is like a really nice accent. And both of these together, I'm gonna just play the Rex Edit open head for the preview, but you can hear the LFO open head, so both of these together are sounding like this. And now for the most important part, I have this 808 pattern. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger so you can see how it looks. And as you can see, it's really simple. I basically just went with the root notes of the original sample, or basically the bass line. And I have this F note, this G sharp, then it goes down to a C sharp, then again an F, A sharp, C sharp, C sharp. And then I just copied it over, switch it up like a little bit. So I basically have it going up right here. And as I said, it's a really simple pattern. I have this row right here with like a velocity change. And that's really all I can explain for the beat. I have like a tempo automation at the beginning just for like the intro and my tag obviously. So as you can see on the top left, it goes from 107 BPM to 162 BPM with just a simple automation clip, and it adds like a really cool effect for the intro. And I'm gonna play it from here on so you can hear the full beat, and the finished and full beat with the full sample is sounding like this. So yeah guys, if y'all enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate if y'all just leave a like and leave a comment on what you think of this beat, or what's your favorite DEZ WRIGHT produced song. I would really appreciate that, and it would really help me. And if you haven't already, make sure to use the 15% discount code or LucaLand. That would really mean a lot to me. And I just want to say thank you for going so crazy on the last videos. I really appreciate that, and I don't want to make the outro too long. There will be 2 videos a week from now on, so y'all make sure to turn on the bell, the notification bell, so you'll get notified every time I upload. And with that being said, make sure to leave a like, to subscribe, and to comment, and make sure to check out LucaLand. And yeah guys, see y'all.